Welcome. This is the Bird's Eye View. I am the War Duck, and luckily today we are here with the lovely Mr. Krow.
Hey, everybody.
All right, so gaming news. What do we got for gaming news?
Mm,
Well, I don't know if you remember. I think
no.
it was like 2 years ago. I think now that Discord came out and
Mm,
changed their community guidelines that basically said that no matter where you are or what you say, if we don't like it,
big bad you.
we
Yeah.
can ban you from things. So even if you had said something or did something that they didn't like and you weren't even on Discord, they were still going to hold you responsible. And
Yeah.
so a lot of us moved over to Gilded to get away from some of that woke ideology and stuff. And now
I
it
want to
looks
say it might
like,
have even been longer than 2 years ago.
think so? I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was right at the start of COVID, but
That was 4 years ago.
oh shit. Okay, I might have been. Has it been that long? Good lord.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
All right.
It's been a
So,
while.
what has
Anyway,
Discord done now? Well,
oh, good
glad you
times.
asked. We're about to tell you. So, Discord now is cooperating with the FBI and Homeland Security over content like
Oh,
user-generated recreations of mass shootings. But this headline, whatever it says, right? The Biden administration describes domestic terrorism and the most urgent terrorism threats facing the United States. Apparently, that's coming from gamers. Um,
yeah.
so, so basically, Discord, Reddit, Roadblocks, they are open to the feds. And so once again, you have groups giving away people's information without warrants. Just,
Yeah.
in today's privacy, where they like Discord asks all your information to get verified, and I don't
Yep.
know about Reddit or Roblox, but isn't Roblox
I
just
don't.
a game?
Roblox is like it's an area for games. Like there's multiple games
Oh,
within Roblox. Yeah.
I thought Roblox
But
was just like a kids game, but apparently it's more than that.
it is. It's kind of like a kids game, but I say kids game, but I know lots of people who play it.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just one more invasion from the U.S. government into gamers. Like, what
Oh,
business do you have if I have not committed a crime? What business do you have of being in my business without a warrant? You don't.
that's I guess is where I kind of wonder where the line is. It's like,
Well, and as you saw when the poke and all that was around, like you couldn't
yeah,
even voice an alternative opinion, even if it was true. They would just ban you and then put you on a list and all this other stuff. And then now, 4 years later, all that alternative views actually became true. Before it
yeah,
was just false narrative and
yeah,
blah blah blah, but now it's all true. And now they're, oh well, maybe it came from China, or like,
yeah.
yeah, okay, well that's been proven now, buddy. So, but this is just one more thing of the invasion of your privacy. Now, apparently, um, Discord
It's
is
just
involved, Reddit, and Roblox. So this
I
is
know
once
gamers are
again,
out there. It's just I know gamers are out there and they're kind of just playing. They're doing their own things, and it's kind of leaving your house and leaving your footprint or a little bit of who you are.
now.
It's just
Now here's the
this
thing:
still
is
seems so
do
weird
I
though.
do I believe that there's no gamers that are completely on their loose screws and want to hurt somebody? No, I believe there's a few out
I
there,
believe.
but I don't
Well,
believe I don't believe gamers are this mass place where they all get produced and everything. I don't.
I don't I don't think they're all gamers. I mean, it's
Yeah, I
those
don't see the
people that
need for the
tell
FBI to be in cahoots with Roblox,
targeting.
Discord, and Reddit, thinking that gamers
Exactly.
are a bunch of domestic terrorists. It
Mhm.
just seems completely out there. It just seems an invasion of uh your rights, because they're doing this without warrants and stuff, which is why, I can at least speak for myself. I left Discord a long time ago, and I use Gilded with most everybody, so I don't have to worry too much
Left.
about this. So.
I say I left Discord, but I use it still to because a lot it's huge. It really gained a lot of traction. But there's lots of people out there, like a lot of the fun pimps, for example, are on it. There's just a lot of different people who use it for different things to communicate with their community, and that's one way I don't interact with it very often.
Yeah, I
I don't
use
speak
just
on
I
it.
use Gilded for almost everything, unless
Yeah,
there's one
I do too.
specific reason I need to get on Discord, then I'll log in and get on for whatever that one reason is. But
Yeah,
I don't like we're doing this on Gilded. We don't
yeah,
use Discord during games. We don't use Discord for any of that other stuff. It's all Gilded. So,
yeah. I
all
get
right.
information for Dead by Daylight and stuff from Discord.
Yeah. So moving on. We're going to move on, and now we're going to talk about PlayStation Pro leaked specs appear online. Now, we talked a little bit about the PlayStation 6 coming out at some point in the
Yeah,
next year or two. I can't remember now.
I want to say it's they. Well, when we talked about it a couple weeks ago, but they're leaking it out saying this PlayStation 6 is coming out in a couple years. I think
Wonder.
estimating about 2 to 3 years.
All right. So the PlayStation 6 is coming. We already know that. But now they're coming out with the Pro.
Yeah, I'm excited though for the Pro.
So, okay, memory boost, CPU boost, and GPU boost. They say that the PS6 release will be 2026. Okay.
2 years.
Now,
Okay.
when we made the video about the PlayStation 6, we talked about the fact that they just barely had touched on the Slim, and they hadn't come out with a Pro yet. And now they're coming out with a Pro, but we're already almost halfway through 2024, and the Pro hasn't launched yet.
Oh, they estimate the Pro will be the second half of this year,
Right,
2024.
but let's just think about that for a minute, because
Yeah, you're gonna.
The PS Pro is going to be, I imagine, 550, $600 when the regular one came out at 500. That's my guess.
Yeah,
And then I'm guessing the regular one will probably drop down to probably 400.
I can see that 399.
Yeah, when this
Yeah,
drops. Currently, we took a look, and you can get the Slim for 449 on Amazon, regularly 560. So, but you're gonna come out with the PS Pro the second half of 2024, which only leaves it a year and a half before you're releasing your. Well, let's.
6.
Okay. Well, no, because probably the 6 won't come out until what, late 2026.
Yeah, I bet you they'll
They
target this
somewhere
second half
around
easy.
Black Friday, right? Isn't that what they usually do?
They target around October. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get 2 years max of the PS Pro. Is that PS Pro worth the extra? Well, I should say another, because if you already have one and you're going to the Pro, is it worth another 600 to $650? Or 550 to $600 is what I'm guessing for
And
2 years.
I'm trying to think of it this way: if the PS5 Pro is going to come out later this year, 2 years later, the PS6 comes out. What's going to be the change? Like what? That's what I think is going to have to draw for me. Is the GPU is going to have to be
Well,
amazing
but this is
compared to
what
the
they
Pro.
do, right? This is what they've always done. Is they come out with the Pro, and
Mhm.
then it's better, but it's not what they could
Oh
do.
yeah,
And then the PS6 will come out, and then they'll release a few games only on PS6. like
Yes.
what they did
Try
with
to
PS5, right? And try to get you to buy. Oh, I gotta have that game. I want to be that upstart or whatever, and it'll
yeah.
be $600 or $700. And so, is it worth getting the PS Pro for 2 years, paying another $600, and then knowing full well the PS6 is just around the corner?
I'm actually so I was curious how they did this. I'm looking at the PS4 when it was released. It came out in November of 2013,
Right
November
around Black
22nd.
Friday.
Uh-huh. And then the PlayStation 4 Pro came out November 10th, 2016, almost exactly 3 years later. We are sitting almost at that same place with the PS5.
Yeah,
Now you look at when the PS5 was released.
yeah.
Sorry, everybody. I'm sick too. November 12th, 2020. They definitely come around. Yeah, November, the Black Friday stuff.
Yeah,
November.
that's what I remember.
But the PS4 Pro came out in 2016, and then the PS5 was released 4 years later.
Yeah, but now you're at 2 years.
Now you're at two. You're cutting it. Yeah.
And
I just
and if you're, I mean, think about it this way: is if you're not an early adopter and you get on right away at the beginning of Black Friday of this year, and you had to wait for 6 months, now you're only a year and a half out.
mm-hmm.
Right? The longer you wait to get the PS Pro, the closer you are to the PS6. I don't see it being worth it, especially after
Yeah.
they already announced the PS6 and it was coming so soon. If
Yeah.
nobody had heard of the PS6 and there was no launch date, then this makes more sense because we'll look at the upgrades here, and we're talking about memory from 448 gigabytes to 576. Not a huge jump, but it
Not a huge jump.
does have a detachable terabyte of onboard SSD storage. So this memory is more, I guess, usable. 576 gigabytes a second, I guess is what they're talking about. Not storage,
Yeah.
but usage. And then the CPU is a 10% increase at 385 gigahertz. And then the
Again, not a huge
GPU,
increase.
gets a 45% boost from 10.20
Yeah.
teraflops to 33.5 teraflops.
That's the GPU is huge. That one's a huge jump.
Yeah.
I can see that the CPUs, I wish they were pushing more of a 4, but a 4 gigahertz, somewhere up there. And the memory too, I wish was more. I wish they would go.
Well, they're
But
really pushing this detachable thing,
yeah, yes, they are.
like because you can buy more than one apparently, so you can kind of go that way with it.
Detachable, the disk drive?
Yeah, it says detachable disk drive and offer 1 terabyte of onboard SSD storage. Don't they have where you can plug in a? I thought I saw where you could plug in a peripheral SSD.
I can already, yeah, I can. My PS5 currently supports, I can put in, it has 1 terabyte on board,
Yeah,
but I can also, can put in like, I think can't remember if it's 3 or have 2. So I can't remember if it's like 3 or 4
yeah,
is its max. So yeah, I don't,
yeah.
that's
It's
nothing
it's
new. Come on.
basically expandable, but
Yeah.
and then
Please take the disk drive off though.
so
Disk drive. Let's
so
do.
this is interesting. The GPU is also said to offer PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution upscaling and anti-aliasing tech, custom machine learning architecture, and AI accelerator. So now your PlayStation is going to be an AI.
Gonna be AI. I'm letting it in my house now.
And plugging it into your network.
Uh, huh.
So this is kind of interesting that they're doing this, upgrading this, because our next headline is Sony reportedly halts all of their VR production as headsets fail to sell. Sony
They're too
says
expensive.
it stopped production on VR headsets until it clears out existing stock. And that's my thing is I really want to do some VR gaming, but I can't spend $600 to $1,200 buying a set, especially
Exactly.
especially because I'm super susceptible to um, motion sickness on like the rides that are in the little cart that go move like this and the
Oh yeah.
screen. Like my body knows I'm not actually moving.
You're not, but yeah,
My
things go
brain
weird.
and my eyes say something different and it messes me up and makes me sick. So I really want to try it and I would really love to play some of these VR games, but there's no way I'm paying $600 to $1,200 to get a system and then not be able to use it, right? It's like,
I, the VR2 is $400,
yeah.
and for me, I was like, that's buying another PlayStation. It's
And the other aspect of that is that I really haven't seen, because
there's
the
nothing that
headsets aren't
amazing.
adopted widely, there's not tons and tons of games out there.
Correct.
And that's like the biggest part of it. Is like honestly, if you had made like, I don't know, what's the biggest PlayStation game out there?
Biggest? Oh man, I don't know. I mean, you can easily go with like Spider-Man or God of War or something like that. Those
Okay, if
or
you had
Grand Theft
made
Auto.
God of War VR only.
Hmm.
I think you would see a lot more adoption of it. But because they
Yeah.
don't do that, a lot of people aren't going to pay that much for it. You know,
No.
it's one of those things where it's a cost benefit. Is why am I going to pay $400 when there's like 20 games out there that I might would play?
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest drawback. Now, I have
Well,
seen that there's a lot of games for PC that people adapt to it
yeah.
because of the head tracking stuff. But again, the price tag, for me at least, is just too high to get into it right now.
And that's kind of the thing I'm looking at too is for what you can get, there are other things out there for roughly the same price, and I feel like you get more.
Yeah.
You've got the Oculus, you've got Meta. Not saying you can get more from them as well, I'm not, but those are options, and you do have other things that PlayStation doesn't offer.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I still see it progressing, but for some
Mhm.
reason the technology hasn't gotten cheaper, and I'm
Oh,
not really understanding why that is because we're 10 years into um uh this VR headset stuff, and the price is still really high.
I I have hope, and this is kind of changing the topic a little bit, but keeping it in the same area. I have hope that the Apple VR computer, now it's not a VR. It's not like what the Oculus or PlayStation people keep thinking it
Are you talking
is.
about that headset
Uh,
thingy?
uh-huh. I'm talking about
That's
the
augmented reality.
that's the thing is if I think if that catches on, it's a computer. You are wearing a computer so you
Yeah,
can
people are
interact with your
already sending those back though.
I think if this could if that it gets adapted and they do well, that could bring in some virtual reality stuff that's
Yeah,
gonna start knocking down the price. But you're hearing Duck say exactly what I think anyway. Not happening. Just
yeah.
it's not there.
This has got to be.
We're
It's got
not
to
there
come.
yet.
It's got to half. You got to half the price before people are even gonna even remotely get on board. Because even the people that got on board a while ago aren't really pushing it anymore.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people have gotten out. All right.
Yeah, and just like you said too, the Apple it's not what it, it's still too it's not there yet.
Yeah.
Our virtual reality is not there. The augmented is not there.
All right.
Trying.
So, guess what happens on April 11th?
Uh, Not Easter.
We get Fallout,
We
the
get
TV
Fallout though.
show.
Yes.
And I have been super excited for
I'm excited
this
for
to
it.
come out for a long time until
I
I
think
read this article. And then I
I
got
started getting excited
really,
just this
really
couple past
worried.
weeks.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. See, I was super excited until I saw this article about the producer, and then I got really nervous. So, Fallout
Oh
TV
no.
series creator says pleasing fans is a fool's errand. And I was like, oh, again? Like The
Boy.
Witcher, you come out and
Mhm.
everything's good, and then all of a sudden you go off script and you totally get out of the source material and you ruin the whole show. This
Yeah.
made me worry so bad. I'm like, oh, please don't. And then the fact that he says, oh, Fallout 3 almost derailed my entire career. I got so enthralled with it. Means he's never even seen Fallout 1 and 2. He admits he never played Fallout 1 and 2.
Oh
So
no.
basically, this guy doesn't have respect for the source material. That really bothers me. Secondly, apparently Bethesda or whoever, I think it's Bethesda, right? Bethesda?
I think yeah.
They basically said we had one rule: don't um, don't mess up the ending, or don't infringe on the ending or something or other. But
Okay.
they didn't. They don't. They don't hold them to staying with the source material, staying within
Mm.
canon. That really scares me. This whole article really scares me. I hope. I don't know. I hope he's trolling. I hope it's not that kind of a thought, but it just really worries me because I was really
And
excited for this.
I hope that you're right that this is kind of a troll
Yeah.
because as you look at the trailers, as you see all the things that are going on in there, it really looks like they've actually done some of their homework and they're doing well with keeping it there. Like even as little as when the lady steps away or steps out of
The
the
vault.
shelter,
Yeah.
it's just blinding bright light and it seems like they've done their homework and it's
Man.
sticking close
But
to
he
it. But
turns around and says, Jonathan Nolan, the creator of the upcoming TV series for Amazon Prime, and that's part of the problem is Amazon Prime. They ruined Lord of the Rings thing, right? So is seems to understand that. In fact, he recently said that trying to please fans is somewhat an impossible task. No, it is not. It is super freaking easy, bro. Just stay
I
with the
was gonna
source
say,
material. That's all you have to
I
do.
mean,
Is
what
stay
is it? The
within the
Last of Us?
Fallout. Just stay within the
Yeah,
Fallout world, and you're good.
yeah, like The Last of Us did really well, and it stuck very close to the game. And that's one reason why I didn't watch it is because I'm like, I've already played the game, or I've already kind of seen this. Why do I want to watch this movie when I've already lived it and so forth? But that was a huge success.
So
Then you look at
April,
Halo, they didn't stick to the thing there. I mean, Master Chief taking off his helmet was the biggest thing where people were really pissed. But
yeah.
yeah, I hope they don't do the same with Fallout. And then yeah, you're right. You started it off too with The Witcher, for example. Season 1 and 2 did really well. And
Then you got off script.
they got off
Got
script
away
and then
from.
people were like, what are you doing?"
Yeah. I don't think you really
Oh,
can set out to please the fans of anything or please anyone other than yourself. I think you have to come into this trying to make the show you want to make and trusting that fans of the game ourselves would find the pieces that were essential to us to try to do the best version. And
yep, you're right.
I
That quote right there messes it up.
I disagree with this whole point of view thing. I don't like that kind of mentality because it's really super easy to please fans. It really is. All you have to do is stay within the world that's been laid out for you, like what Witcher didn't. You know,
Yep.
this goddamn commercial.
Ah, yeah, that
Says
I see what you're saying. This
while
he
he
it
doesn't
oh,
intend to pander to diehard Fallout fans, Nolan doesn't plan to deviate too much from the series lore either. He's a fan of Bethesda Softworks franchise, saying Fallout 3 damn near ruined his life. The chokehold the game had on him was part of the reason why I wanted to create the show to begin with. Okay, So when I now he doesn't intend to pander to diehard fans, and he doesn't plan to deviate too much from the
Yeah.
series lore.
I almost
Non-qualified statements where you can just it doesn't mean anything.
I almost wonder if he's trying to say this in the hopes that like, hey, can't please fans. I've done the best I can, and if they don't like it, like it's almost like he's afraid that because look at it, Halo, horrible. Um, okay, maybe not horrible, but it was bad. Didn't go well. Um, but maybe he's trying. Maybe he's just like, hey, you just can't do it. I don't
So
know.
he doesn't plan to
That's hoping though.
deviate too much from the series lore. Okay, too much. What does that mean? All I hear right here is the diehard fans don't want me to deviate from the lore, but I'm gonna do it anyway because because I don't care what fans have to say. I want to make the show that I want to make. That's all he's saying right here, and that super worries me. I really hope this is just a big troll and not
Yeah.
something real because this had the chance with especially with Groggins, it had the chance to be something great, and I'm just super afraid they're gonna ruin it right off the bat. So that's my two cents on it. I certainly hope not, but I don't know. What do you guys think? You think that they're gonna ruin it? Does this worry you at all, or is it just a big troll and we shouldn't be worrying about it?
I don't think we worry about it too much, is my opinion here. Just because I think he's just setting himself up. If it fails, it fails. Let him move on.
Yeah, I hope it's just a big troll and that they stick a
Yeah.
lot closer to lore than what The Witcher did in the end. But somebody was talking to me at work about this, and they were saying that that the power armor has like a Iron Man mask, so it like retracts back and everything, which is totally not
That's not
lore, right? And
not in the
I haven't seen that. I don't know if that's true. He couldn't tell me
yeah.
where he read that, so I don't know. I tried to look some of that up, and I didn't find what I was looking for. So I hope that's not true. But another thing that makes me worry, like how much of this are you gonna change just because you want to? Because there's no need. Like the easiest thing would just be a freaking helmet that you take out, right? I mean, that's
You take off and on, yeah.
right.
Exactly.
I'm like, oh man. So I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I hope
I don't
like I
know.
said, I hope people are just trolling me because this is something that I really wanted to like, but I just don't know. Just don't know.
I'm hoping that because what's the purpose of this interview? Like it's a short little interview. He's a little quoting here and there. It's I even published this. Is my next question, right? It just like man, it is. It's just it's setting up. I don't know. Maybe it's to try to set up your expectations if you're not going to have any now because you'll go give it a shot and now you're not going to have any and maybe
But
you'll
the thing is you have to
outperform
be
it.
very careful with gamers because if they know
Oh yeah.
that you're deviating from the lore, they won't watch. They just won't. That's what happened to Lord of the Rings, really, is
Hmm.
they found out early that it was a deviation and people just quit. Like they're like, yeah, we're not having it. And so it has some people, it got some views, but it fell way, way short of expectations.
Oh
Way
yeah.
short. So I hope Amazon learned their lesson and they don't do that again, but their track record isn't real good. And that's the other part that worries me.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Fingers crossed. I hope it's
Yeah.
good. This is one I was actually hoping would replace The Witcher, of
Yeah.
bringing things back.
All
And
right.
I felt like
So
they had a good one with it too with Nolan.
so I hope we didn't depress you too much with this episode, because
That's a
there was
bummer.
a lot of unfortunate information to bring out here. Unless you're excited for the PS Pro, then you're good. But Or the
Yeah, we'll
price
band
drop
together. We
on
can
the
talk.
PlayStation VR probably. But
I'm hoping that price drop will be like 200 when it. Let's just get rid of it. Come on.
well, we're less than what, 4 weeks away. We're less than 4 weeks away from seeing Fallout and seeing what happens. And
Mhm.
I certainly am going to give it a shot. And I certainly hope
Fingers
I'm not
crossed.
disappointed. But we'll
Yeah.
probably bring your review back when it comes out. All right, with that, we're out of here.
Exciting.
Let us know what you guys think about all this stuff. Are you going to continue to use Discord even though the FBI is watching you? Are you excited for Fallout, or are you a little scared? Are you going to get the PS Pro, or are you just going to wait till the price drops for the PlayStation VR?
Yes.
With that, we're
Yes to
out
all
of here.
those. All right, everyone. We'll talk to you next time. See ya.